Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to today's What's for Dinner video. Today I'm going to be giving you 5 dinner ideas. This is generally what my family had for dinner this past week. I know meal planning can be super stressful and intimidating and a lot of work, so I hope that this gives you some ideas and helps you out. The first meal I'm making is chicken tortilla soup. This was a new recipe that I made for the video and it was so good, especially for this time of year. So the very first thing I'm doing is cutting up my produce. I'm using a yellow onion, 1 jalapeno, and 3 cloves of garlic. I added 2 tablespoons of butter to my pot, and next I'm going to add my onions and the jalapeno and saute that for 4 minutes, and then I'm going to add the garlic and cook for 1 more minute. Here I am draining a can of black beans and a can of corn and rinsing them. I'm next going to add that to my pot along with the chicken breast, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 1 can of Rotel, 5 cups of chicken broth, hot sauce, cayenne pepper, cumin, and taco seasoning. I also want to mention that all of these recipes will be linked below. Some of them I followed pretty closely, other ones were just kind of inspiration, but I will have all of that information in the description box. You're going to bring the soup to a gentle boil and cook partially covered for about 20 minutes. After time is up, I'm taking the chicken breast out and shredding them. I'm now going to return the chicken back to the soup, and then I'm going to stir in a half block of cream cheese and 1.5 cups cheddar cheese, but I don't really measure cheese in my house. Some garnish ideas are sour cream, cheddar cheese, and jalapenos. I like all the garnishes on mine. My husband does not. Less is more for him, more is more for me. Next recipe is Marry Me Chicken. We are gonna have this with some green beans. So first I'm just going to wash those and get those ready. Then I'm gonna take 2 chicken breasts. These were pretty thick, so I cut them in half sideways. I just prefer the thin cut chicken breast in my grocery store. Didn't have them this week, so I'm just making my own. And then I'm going to heat some olive oil up in my pan and sear the chicken both sides for about 4 to 5 minutes. I did just want to mention that because I have a 9-month-old, I am omitting the salt from all of these recipes, and then I will just salt mine and my husband's afterwards just because her little kidneys don't need any added salt. But I am just mincing up 2 cloves of garlic, and then I'm measuring out 3/4 cup of chicken broth and a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Next, I am taking the chicken breasts out of the pan. After they're seared on both sides, I'm going to add the garlic and cook that for about 1 minute. Next, I am pouring in the heavy cream and chicken broth, and then I'm also going to stir in some thyme and red pepper flakes. And I do all of my seasoning to taste. Here I'm adding some sun-dried tomatoes. I love these things, and I also love the oil that they come in, so I'm adding some of that, along with some Parmesan cheese. I told you I don't measure cheese, and then I'm going to stir that until it's all combined, and then add the chicken breast back in. Now we're just going to cook it into the pan until the chicken is done. I do flip it every couple of minutes, and I'm also chopping up some fresh basil. And here's the finished product. I love putting the sauce all over my rice. I could drink the sauce. Next up, we're having honey garlic salmon. Now, if you're someone who thinks that you don't like salmon, you need to try this because my husband doesn't like any salmon other than this, and I love salmon. I order it in restaurants all the time, and this is the best I have ever had. So first thing I'm gonna do is chop up 6 cloves of garlic. Next, I am making the sauce, which is gonna be a half cup of honey, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of water, 1 tablespoon of sriracha, the juice from 1 lemon, and those 6 cloves of garlic that we minced. And I do want to mention that I am making a different fillet for my baby since she's not 1 yet, so she cannot have the honey. If you don't like salmon because it has a fishy taste, try rinsing it first. This really does make a world of a difference in that fishy flavor. To my salmon, I am adding olive oil, salt, pepper, paprika, and blackening seasoning. Next, I'm going to pour about half of the sauce on before I put it in the oven. I bake this at about 425. Depending on your salmon, it can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. But I just check it. It should be 165, and then I pour the rest of the sauce on and then just put it back in for like a minute or two so the sauce can warm up. And here it is. We had ours with broccoli. I meant to do carrots too, but I realized too late that we didn't have any, so I just gave the kids half a banana. Next up is white chicken chili. This is a tried and true recipe. I've been making this for as long as I can remember, and it's a crock-pot meal, so that's a win. First thing I'm going to do is just get all of my cans ready to go because this is my least favorite thing. Drain and rinse my white beans and my corn. Next, I'm going to dice up a white onion. Next, I'm going to add my chicken to the crock pot. I usually like to season the chicken and then put everything else in, but I forgot and then put the onions in, but it's not really a big deal. But for your seasoning, you're gonna do garlic powder, black pepper, cumin, chili, cayenne, and then of course salt if you don't have a little baby. Next, my little helper and I are going to add a can of Rotel, the 2 cans of white beans, and the 1 can of corn that I rinsed earlier, and then 1 container of chicken broth. You're going to cook this either high for 3 to 4 hours or low for 6 to 8 hours. Once time is up, take your chicken breasts out and shred them. You're going to return them to the crock pot. Then you're going to add a 1/4 cup of heavy cream or half and half, and then 1 block of cream cheese. And then you're going to cook the cream cheese in there on high for about 30 minutes until it's all melty and you can easily stir it in. And I actually made this on Halloween, so I didn't really get any after shots because we were busy getting out the door trick-or-treating, but I did get a couple clips on my phone, and I also just wanted to show the cute little ghost strawberries that I made. We had this with cornbread and it was the perfect combination. It was so good. Last but not least, we're gonna make Cajun chicken pasta. So I'm just showing you what you're gonna need. You're gonna need chicken breast, yellow onion, Rotel, penne, chicken broth, and then for your Cajun seasoning, paprika, oregano, thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, and salt. First thing I'm going to do is cut the chicken up into bite-sized pieces. Next, I'm going to add all the chicken to a bowl and then add the seasoning. Next, I'm going to add olive oil and butter to my pot, and then I'm going to show you what the chicken looked like after I seasoned it. Oops. So anyway, now I'm going to add it to my pot and then sear it for a couple minutes on each side. Next, I'm adding my onion and I'm going to saute that for about 2 minutes. Next, I'm adding 2 cups of chicken broth, a can of fire roasted diced tomatoes, and half of a box of penne. Next, you're going to cover it and then bring it to a boil and then simmer for 10 minutes or until your pasta is cooked through. Next, I'm just dicing up some green onion and I'm going to also get 1/4 of a block of cream cheese to add in. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, please subscribe, and make sure that you come back on Sunday.